Hello and welcome, friends. Today is World Water Day. Way back in 1992 in Rio de Janeiro summit, World Water Day was envisioned to make everyone aware about one most critical and most important existential need of human being, that is water. Sustainable Development Goal proposes that by 2030 we need to provide to all the humankind sanitation and good and hygienic water. We also have to look at the scenario why at all we need now to remember this very fundamental thing, need for water. World is almost, if you look at the globe, 70% of it is made up of water. If we look at our own body, heaviest thing in our body's composition is water. We are almost a water bag separated from the water bodies of the whole earth. Earth is this very beautiful, this very green, sustains these many number of species of animals, plants, fungi and everything, and it is made possible only because we have so much of abundant water. All our histories remember that we faced flood and big floods. In India, Manu saved mankind from flood, and we have histories of different cities which were raised on the banks of river, and we are one culture which is so connected with water, all our water bodies, and we think of our water bodies as divine. We never call river as river in Hindi. हम उनको बड़ी श्रद्धा के साथ उनके नाम में गंगा जी, गंगा माता, यमुना जी, we have always this reverence for our water bodies. हमारे लिए वो एक जीवन का जीवंत भाग है. और आज we are at this situation, at this very juncture of history, where India is finding scarcity of water. Very recently we have found that Bangalore was really struggling to provide its citizens with potable water. How we have reached this situation? Lot of scientists and advocates for water, they are talking about conserving water. But think, is this really science to conserve water? Do you really conserve water? Do you really destroy water? The very basic physics and chemistry will tell you, you don't create atoms, you don't create molecules. They are there. Water is there. You don't really destroy unless and until very physically you do the process of electrolysis. You don't change structure of water. Water is like water. But the problem is, it's not being made available to us. There are states and there are districts जहाँ पानी इतना abundant था, if you dig for 10 feet, groundwater was available. Now in the face of modernity, the modern agriculture, the agriculture that has been supported by our blind science, that has proven to be absolutely destructive. We are exploiting groundwater, we are cultivating crops which were not natural. Now you look at the water table from Punjab, Haryana, all the places water table is going down. Government is providing with cheap electricity, subsidized diesel, and farmers are blindly exploiting groundwater. In the name of agriculture, you are exploiting groundwater to an extent that groundwater is now not available even for drinking. So this whole culture of unsustainable agriculture is one of the biggest cause why we are suffering water crisis. day-to-day consumption, you are wasting a glass of water or a cup of water is not really a big challenge. But the challenge is we create an ecosystem where water is made available, all the groundwater sources are recharged. We have to think about sustainable agriculture, number one. Number two, we have to think about how groundwater gets recharged. And for that, you have to raise more of plants. You have to grow native plants, native trees. You have to raise livestock with native trees, livestock, and the top earth becoming porous, you will be making water available to the groundwater sources. And it's not impossible. If you look around, you will see that even rivers are drying up. Yamuna is drying up, Godavari is drying up, Ganga is not at its prime the way it used to be. Can you imagine the culture of India without Ganga? Can you imagine culture of ours without Yamuna, Godavari? In morning we used to recite, we still recite Ganga, Yamuna, Godavari, Saraswati. We used to invoke all these rivers for our divinity, our purification, and without that you can't imagine the culture. But I'd also like to remind that we are too small individually, but as a community we are powerful enough. And just about stopping your faucet, your water sources, small water sources at your home is not good enough. We have to think collectively to revive our water bodies. We have to think collectively to recharge the groundwater. We have to think collectively to force the farmers to use sustainable agricultural practices. Our agriculture scientists have to think in the terms of sustainable agriculture. They have to promote organic agriculture, and they have to discourage farmers from using groundwater blindly.